Okay, so this is the Aprilia RS660, brand new bike. It's only done 93 miles from new. 5 different rider modes, parallel twin 660cc, ride by wire. So let's just see how she goes. It's a beautiful, clear digital dashboard, colour digital dash, giving you your revs, your speed, what gear you're in, and various other readouts. The first thing I will say straight away, compared to my Ducati Supersport S, this feels far more sportier, far more pushed forwards. I feel like I'm in a much more sporting position. In fact, it feels tiny. It's really tiny. I do feel like I'm being pushed up and over the handlebars, like you would on, say, a Yamaha R6. I'm really struggling with the comfort of this. I've got to be honest straight away. I do feel like I'm having to really push myself back in the seat. I feel sort of bent over the front of the bike. It's got a nice sound to it, I'll give it that. So it's got a beautiful sound. It feels ultra light compared to my Ducati Supersport. Really super light. But it's tiny. It just feels so tiny. I just feel, even for me, you know, I'm 5'7", and I feel absolutely squashed up on this thing. It's far more sort of a prone racing position. I'm trying my best to get comfortable on this, but I'm not finding it easy. Now, another important thing that I've noticed, which I must point out, which is not what I expected according to the write-ups anyway, is the seat height on this thing is a lot higher than on my Ducati Supersport, I can tell you. I'm really struggling to get my feet down, and therefore, as far as I'm concerned, this bike is already not a bike I would buy, because I simply can't comfortably get my feet down. Believe it or not, it feels even higher in the seat position than my BMW GS310. Even higher. I think it's because of the width of the seat as well as the height of it, and it's a real hard seat. But anyway, let's give it a try. Pretty good brakes. Now this has double brake discs on it, Brembos, so it's got some good brakes. Sound off that engine is amazing. Fantastic noise coming off that engine. But it does feel extremely light in comparison to my Ducati. Of course, this bike is supposed to compete with the bikes in the 600cc type arena, 600 type 400s, those kind of things, sports bikes, so that's the way it feels too. Sharp bend coming up, closing in, slowing down for the bends. closing in again, slowing right down. Brakes feel really good. Pickup is good as well. Slowing down for roadworks. Now this is where I'm struggling. Getting my feet down on this is difficult. My shoulders are aching already. When are these lights going to change? Big sharp ends coming up for half a mile. Easing down. Bend. Easing down again. Okay, we can open her up. Woo! Getting bounced around a hell of a lot. Opening up a little bit now. Man, you can really throw this bike around. Very, very easy to change direction in this thing. It's so light, it's incredible. You can flick it into corners. It's almost like you're on a push bike. These roads really do make the suspension work hard. What I'm finding is the suspension is really hard on these bikes, that is. This is really bobbing me around like I'm on some kind of jet ski in the middle of a rough ocean. It's just bouncing me around. Again, very, very different to the Ducati Supersport, that is such a nice soft suspension, especially when it's in touring mode. This thing is like I say, it's like almost like being on a bucking bronco when you're on a road like this, which is a pretty rough piece of road. But it's not that rough. I mean, I'm going to be honest, it's not that rough. It just feels rough because of the hardness of the suspension on this bike. But in terms of sort of manoeuvrability, it's amazing. As I say, it feels like I'm on almost like I'm on a push bike. It's so light. I'm finding that by using my legs more to sort of help my body stay upright is helping a little bit with the neck ache and the back ache. Here we go. Sweeping bend. Don't really need to go beyond fourth, really. Tightening up, down a gear. Tightening up again. Dropping a gear. We've got some slow symbols coming up, so we'll reduce speed. Downhill, slowing right down for the bends. to the biker. Straight road, stop. Blind bend, down, down again. Open road. Then tightening right up, down a gear. Tightening right up again, down a gear. We're off. Then coming in tight again, down. Third gear. Sweeping bend. Slow signs, so we're taking it steady. Road's open a little bit again. To a blind hill again, down a gear. Sweeping bend. Down. Third gear. God, the noise of this thing is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Down a gear. This bike's running on Rosso 2s, Pirelli Rosso 2s, very similar to the tyres that I have on the Ducati Supersport S, which are Rosso 3s, but great tyres, really good tyres. Well, I have to say, so far this bike is a very exciting bike to ride. It's an ultra light bike to ride. Gear shifts, throttle control, brakes, all very effective, very simple to master. The drawbacks for me compared to the Ducati Supersport S's, firstly, a very prone forward tight seating position. Tall people are just not going to be able to ride this. If you're over 5'8", you're not going to be able to ride this, I don't think. It's just too tiny and too tight in the riding seat, and my neck is now in a lot of pain. I've got to be honest, I'm having to really sort of eat my neck right back. Yeah, and I'm getting a lot of pain now. I wouldn't want to be riding this on a long journey. A lot of plastic here, by the way. I really don't like this this sort of very plasticky dash. There is a very much an essence of this thing looking and feeling quite cheap compared to, again, to the Ducati Supersport. But what you've got to keep in mind is that the Ducati Supersport is considerably more expensive than this. Okay. And down to 30 miles an hour. So there you have it. That was the Aprilia RS660. Fantastic bike, ultra light, feels like it's made of pure carbon fibre, even though it's not. Handles unbelievably well, braking, acceleration, sounds amazing as well from that parallel twin engine, absolutely amazing sound. But unfortunately it's a no for me because it doesn't meet my key criteria of being able to get my feet down onto the ground when I stop it. And funnily enough, getting my feet down, I felt more on my toes than I do on my BMW GS 310, and also because I felt so cramped and uncomfortable on it. And I'm looking for bikes that you can get your feet down on and get comfortable on for long distances. So it's a no from me, but a great bike for young people, I guess, who can handle the pain of riding such tight sort of seated sports bikes. So once again, a big thank you to On Your Bike in Aylesbury for letting me take this bike out and test ride it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.